poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that a lot of us don't realize that we are in energetic spiritual marriages before we are even born. You know what I'm saying? And it is not until later on in life where we start to understand we may have the ability to divorce that spiritual marriage. You know what I'm saying? So it's a system. It's an energetic system. You know what I'm saying? That is very powerful and operates in crazy ways. You know what I'm saying? So realizing and understanding that me being a woman and coming from a line of very strong, powerful women, that first daughter, you know what I'm saying, oftentimes has the ability to be the strongest, to be able to divorce the spiritual marriage, you know what I'm saying? Because the people before them, you know what I'm saying, depending on if you come from a big family or small family, the women in that family oftentimes weren't strong enough to be able to divorce certain energies from their life. So that is why their life played out the way that it did. And being the fact that I come from a very strong line of black women, the sacral power that we had was oftentimes diminished, kept quiet, and a secret, controlled, and abused by, you know what I'm saying, powerful men who did not want women to understand their power. So being the fact that that was the marriage we were tied to, you know what I'm saying, the fact that it was okay for us to be controlled, it was okay for us to be talked to a certain way, you know what I'm saying, cloud your mind, do substances, you know what I'm saying, drink, you know what I'm saying, be disrespectful, you know what I'm saying, just do not know who you are, give your power away to everybody, you know what I'm saying, and especially give it away to people that act as and pretend as if they love you, only in time to discover the fact that they do not want to love you for you. They want to control your sacral power. You know what I'm saying? So again, understanding and realizing that we have been oftentimes locked down in these marriages because this energy has been so prevalent on the planet for thousands of years. So I can honestly say, because I have an old soul, I've been tied to this spiritual marriage for centuries. You know what I'm saying? My great grandmothers, you know what I'm saying, energy is tied to this marriage that's just now going through a divorce. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, it'll oftentimes be that one in the family that has the ability to have to go through life where they not only have to heal their own wounds, but they also have to heal the wounds of everyone before them that didn't pass certain lessons. And that is the hurtful part, because a lot of times you don't be understanding what you be going through, and you know deep down inside that you are a different person from what you may be facing, but you're not realizing that when you were born, you were already locked into a spiritual marriage that was tied to the women before you, as well as, you know what I'm saying, some of the men. So again, that spiritual marriage, you know, that you were tied to, just speaking from my own experience in my life, was, you know what I'm saying, get with people that control and dominate you, you know what I'm saying, and take from you and not necessarily give back. And they'll give back just enough to keep you in the loop. You know what I'm saying? Always stay foggy. Always never have a clear mind. Get fast money. You know what I'm saying? Because money is the root to all evil. Make sure you got something no matter how you got to get it. You know what I'm saying? Because that'll make people want to idolize you more. You know what I'm saying? That is the type of marriage that we were locked in for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And probably would have still been locked in if there wasn't that one person that was strong enough to be able to break through the chains that kept their family confined. Now, for me personally, some people don't understand the synchronicities in their life, but I do. And I tend to, you know what I'm saying, associate, group up, conversate, be in relationships with women that were around my age or slightly older or slightly younger, that were first daughters, you know what I'm saying, that were sent here basically to use their power to be able to heal their bloodlines, you know what I'm saying, from their own pain as well as the people before them pain. That is why I probably had a sacred bond or connection with these certain type of bracket of women, you know what I'm saying. So being the fact that we were strong enough to be sent here to handle this battle, it's almost as if, you know what I'm saying, we're going to go through a journey in life where we're going to have to be forced to make this divorce. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be no way around it. We were sent here intentionally on purpose to make sure that we divorced that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Period. Cut it off. You know what I'm saying? And be brought into a world where you're able to use your sacred power. You're able to create the life that you want to live. You're able to, you know what I'm saying, see life how you want to see it for yourself without being controlled. So personally, me, I just feel like I was born to be gay because, you feel me, I love women. I try. But let me not step back from the fact that I do have a history with men. You know what I'm saying? I was still in that sacred marriage. So I personally felt like if a person wanted you for your goodies, they wanted to be involved with you, until I started going through experience of realizing that is not the case. You know what I'm saying? They just know that spiritually, if they tap into that, you know what I'm saying, they will be able to take that power and use it to create whatever reality they want to live in for themselves, is because I'm experiencing it right now. You know what I'm saying? So understanding and realizing that there was a lot of unprotected sex going on growing up in my era. People can sit back and act like they don't know the truth, but we all know the truth. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, babies were born. Fortunately, by the grace of God, I didn't have the chance to experience multiple pregnancies like a lot of the women I know. You know what I'm saying? I've only had one, and I'm thankful, you know what I'm saying, because of the simple fact that as we have now matured into this way of life and this new energy is on the planet, women are finally understanding their power, and men hate it. They are just completely despising the fact that women have finally realized and owned their power. You know what I'm saying? Because they always felt in their mind they would always have the power to be in control of that. And the fact that a lot of us have, you know what I'm saying, gave our sacred power to these men, they still fighting. I promise you, they're still fighting behind the scenes. They don't want you to, you feel me, grow in your power. So they're dimming your light. You know what I'm saying? They're taking your power. There are people in the world right now that are using your energy to create the life they want to live, while you still, you feel me, are struggling. And they know that they're doing that. They know they're doing this, you know what I'm saying? Because they open themselves enough up for you to give them all their energy. You know what I'm saying? For you to give, them all your energy, but they knew they weren't going to be able to reciprocate. You know what I'm saying? They were actually going to, you feel me, spiritually watch your decline and slowly spiritually watch you go downhill in life, because they were using your energy to benefit their life and create their world while yours went down. You know what I'm saying? And that is the ability of being spiritually married, you know what I'm saying, to this energy. It is not until you actually 100% divorce from it that you're able to take your power back. And that is like the hardest thing to do. That takes time. That takes, you know what I'm saying, years sometimes. It depends. I think it varies from person to person. The more deep you're in, the longer it may take. You know what I'm saying? But again, you gotta want to actually divorce this energy. I want to divorce the energy because I feel so much happier being divorced from it. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there's no more smoking, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Listen, because me being spiritually tied and married to that energy was actually the cause of my downfall in life. And I didn't want to see it because, of course, you don't want to see it because you think that, you know what I'm saying, that's the way it's supposed to be. But really, it's not. It is not until I got to a point in my life where I divorced that energy entirely that I finally found myself that I was okay with being divorced from it. So listen, I went through a period of smoking cigarettes. I went through a period of smoking hella weed. I went through a period of drinking. I smoked blacks. You know what I'm saying? I pop pills. You know what I'm saying? All that is catered to being married to that energy that do not want you to know your power, because your power comes in the form of your intuition, balancing yourself, connecting with yourself, sleeping good, taking care of yourself. You feel me? All those things will help you connect with yourself better. You know what I'm saying? And if I have power over you and I make you think that you can't have those things, then you start to propel yourself into the mindset of going back to, you know what I'm saying, being married to that energy. Listen, let me tell you something. Me being who I am, it's almost as if like my experience in life went exactly how it was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? And again, in my mind, I thought that if you give yourself, your body, to a male, he may potentially like you or love you or want to be in a relationship with you. Absolutely not true. You know what I'm saying? I've only been in love 2 times, and they happen to be with women, and I'm pretty sure you already know that, right? But let me explain something to you. It's almost as if you mirror that energy that they're also married to in the relationship. And that is probably oftentimes why the relationship don't work. You feel me? Because one or the other is still married and trying to have their foot in being a divorcee and starting new, but not yet ready. So again, just using this for example, my first relationship, you know what I'm saying? The love was there. It was good. But I had a history of still wanting to be in the streets. Again, because I was spiritually married to this energy. I wanted to pop pills. I wanted to be with my friends. I wanted to spend fast money. But at the same time, I enjoyed being at home, being a housewife. You know what I'm saying? But I couldn't fully commit to that because my spiritual energy was married elsewhere. So it caused me to be enticed by certain things that pulled me out of that energy. So I cheated, you know what I'm saying? I did some things I'm not proud of. And again, when a person sees you committing to a certain energy that they may have moved away from, it causes disruption in a relationship. So it got to a point where it was just too much. And I get it, you feel me? Because people evolve at different speeds. And maybe you were still married to that energy too, but you were just operating it differently. You know what I'm saying? As where I was operating in a different way. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't work. So what happened is I got into another relationship, you know what I'm saying, with someone who was committed and married to that energy entirely. You know what I'm saying? Is where I was slowly divorcing it, but I was still connected to it. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing things that probably, you know what I'm saying, affected the relationship, because I have to admit and take accountability for the fact that oftentimes people leave out of the relationship when you are showing them side of themselves that they're still committed to as well. So I have to take accountability and recognize and understand that, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that I wasn't all the way out of it, and let me explain to you how, you know what I'm saying? So listen, this particular incident made me, you feel me, deeply attracted, you feel me, to my ex in a way that I couldn't explain. But on the soul level, I felt it, because deep down inside, my soul was aligning with it. So in the beginning of 2020, you know what I'm saying, probably the first 6 months, I was completely overwhelmed. I ain't even gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? And then it kept going on and on. So about the end of the middle of 2021, you feel me, when this person had finished from, you feel me, almost being incarcerated, right? I had a lot on my plate, you know what I'm saying? My grandma had kicked me out. I was trying to be a mom. I had to move into this hotel, you know what I'm saying, somewhere I didn't want to be, you know what I'm saying? And so I decided to, you feel me, start the habit again of popping Xannies. Now listen, I'm just gonna be real with y'all. I don't know what is in that drug, but what I will say is that for me personally, taking a whole bar, I'm going to be knocked out in like 10 minutes or less. Like, whatever is in there is really strong. You know what I'm saying? And it's not built for me. But me being who I was, it was almost as if sleeping, you know what I'm saying, was what I thought would help me get through trying to live life in my mind. There are people that are addicted to uppers, and there are people addicted to downers. And I happen to be addicted to downers, you know what I'm saying? So, but something in me kept drawing me back to this drug. Listen, y'all, it's never been prescribed to me. Probably never will, because I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? It's very, something in there is like really opposite of myself, because to knock someone out that fast like that, you feel me, and keep them in a deep sleep to where they don't remember nothing is kind of dangerous. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it. So, but for me, I was drawn to it. So I decided I had a little connect that came from, you know what I'm saying, being incarcerated together with, you feel me, that energy. Again, being married to that energy, right? I knew they was high on the totem pole when it came to, you know what I'm saying, selling drugs. So I was like, all right, I hit them and I was like, all right, you guys, energy, whoop. So my old self started contacting me, you know what I'm saying? And again, I didn't understand it at the time, but I realized because I'm connected to someone that hasn't yet divorced that old energy. But because I don't know what's going on, they're portraying to me as if they have, but they haven't. And so just being connected to that person kept me in that same mindset. Not their fault, you know what I'm saying? Because they weren't ready to divorce yet. And I couldn't see it, so I put myself in that willingly. I'm not blaming anyone, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, let me get, you feel me, some Xannies. I pull up, you feel me. My old school way of doing it was, you know what I'm saying, breaking up the 4 pieces and putting it in a soda, because that kept me lit, but not to where I could fall asleep until I got stable. I had shit I had to do. So that was how I learned how to do it and be able to, you know what I'm saying, handle that drug, because that drug, again, like I said, is very strong. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why they prescribe that to people, but they do. You know what I'm saying? So I have been doing it for, you feel me, maybe a few months. Like, I'm the type of person, when I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? And if I feel like I could be sneaky doing it around you, I feel like I got one up. You know what I'm saying? Because I was able to get away with it. So for me, I'm stubborn and hard-headed when it comes to that. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't care who try to stop me. You know what I'm saying? You got to actually prove to me the benefit of stopping and the examples behind it for me to stop. Otherwise, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting them right, and I've been doing them for like probably like 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? But I noticed that when you do it, you know what I'm saying, Xanax in particular, for me, you know what I'm saying, I can be able to do what I need to do, but as soon as I get to a rest spot, I'm going to sleep. You know what I'm saying? That's just how effective it was. Kind of scary, but at the same time, if you knew what to look for, you knew what was going on. But if you didn't, you would think I was just tired, because I was working and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with this person, right? I'm thinking I'm being slick, you know what I'm saying, because that's just me. When I know I'm doing something that somebody's not going to approve of, but I want to do it anyway, I'm sneaky with it. I think everybody has that ability, right? So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm being sneaky enough, you know what I'm saying? So mind you, the pills I was getting, you feel me, a little bundle. They came in like a little weed baggie, right? I'm keeping them in my purse, you know what I'm saying, hiding them, because I'm like, you know what I'm saying, people just they just know better not to go in people's purse. You just don't do that. At least that's what I was taught, you know what I'm saying? But if you look at it in a good way, it was probably beneficial that probably happened. So I keeping them in my purse, right? But I'm noticing that being tied to this energy is having me wanting to do what I gotta do for the day and then take them. So when I get to where I'm going, because I really don't want to be there, but I got a lot on my plate, I'm taking it. So as soon as I get there, I'm going to sleep, right? This person that I'm with, you know what I'm saying, is watching me. Now, I'm thinking I'm being sneaky, so I'm not even paying attention to the fact that I'm actually being watched. You know what I'm saying? So I say, like, completely unexpected, maybe a week or two in, you feel me, I am outside, you feel me, smoking a cigarette, right? Because I am lit, right? But I'm thinking I'm doing something. I'm thinking nobody know, right? Listen, she come out, she like, listen, what is this in your purse? Woo, woo, woo. Da 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 da, flashing on me. Got too much to lose. Da 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 da, woo, woo, flashing on me. Like, and in my mind, you feel me, I thought I was being sneaky. I really thought I was getting away with it. Whole time I was being watched and monitored, you know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I'm not saying anything, because I'm dead wrong. Dead wrong. Dead wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it's sexy. The fact that someone is in my face, you feel me, telling me I got too much to lose by doing this, and the fact that you've been watching me and you went exactly right to where they was. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what reason why you came up with the conclusion that they was in the purse, but I promise you, this person went exactly right to where they was. You feel me? Got and gave me the cussing out I probably needed. You know what I'm saying? And got me together fast. You know what I'm saying? To where after that day, I didn't do it again. You know what I'm saying? Listen, let me tell you, that was sexy as fuck to me. You feel me? That shit turned me on. You know what I'm saying? Because again, sometimes people need someone in their life to be able to let them know, like, look, you are going down a bad path. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't get it together, it's going to cripple everything you got going on. You know what I'm saying? To have that type of power over me, I was like, damn, I didn't even know what to say. But listen, come here. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, I thought I was being sneaky. I did. But unfortunately, I wasn't. I was being watched and monitored, and everything was being documented until that person said, okay, now this is too much. You know what I'm saying? And it was. You know what I'm saying? So again, I was still married to that energy. And I hadn't yet divorced it. You know what I'm saying? And that person was also married to the energy as well. That's probably why it was easier to detect, because I'm still married to this energy. So I already know what to look for. You know what I'm saying? I grew up being married to this energy, so I already was peeping your game and what you had going on. They already told me the whole story, you know what I'm saying, of why it was noticeable. And the whole time I thought I was getting away with something. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't. You get me? So it was like, you know what I'm saying, okay, it's time to really get into the mode of, you feel me, divorcing this energy. But I was still holding on, you know what I'm saying, because this person was smoking cigarettes, I was smoking cigarettes, you know what I'm saying, drinking from time to time. Like, it's really hard to divorce an energy that you've been married to for a long time. And I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about the people before you and the people before them. These are lessons and things that people in your family have not seemed to be able to break. Now again, you feel me, let's be real, it's a spiritual thing, you know, cause my mom, you feel me, what didn't use at all, you know what I'm saying? So spiritually still being tied to that, because you weren't able to break certain chains from the people before you. You know what I'm saying? Keeps you stuck in that loop. You know what I'm saying? So my grandma, she did drugs before I was born, but when I started to be aware, she was sober as well. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's like certain chains you have to go through in your life to be able to completely detach, you know what I'm saying, and become unmarried to this energy. But it's not just, oh, I'm gonna stop this and that's the detachment. No, it's all across the board. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to dig deep and go within and really divorce, you know what I'm saying, this energy, to be able to see your own true value and your own true worth. And again, I'm telling you right now, I didn't completely divorce this energy until last year. You know what I'm saying? So that's a long time. I went through having my back up against the wall, you feel me, stressed out, smoking Black and Milds because that's all I could afford, you feel me, struggling, trying to make it, trying to do this, trying to be a mom at the same time, you know what I'm saying, and understanding and not understanding my own true power. So because of me being tied to this energy, because of me feeling as if I can't survive without this energy, you know what I'm saying, I feel less of without this energy, you know what I'm saying, that it made it difficult. But guess what, I with the power of the universe, I made it still. And I kept fighting the battle because I'm just not a type of person that's going to give up. I don't know who instilled that in me. But again, I think it come from somewhere, some ancestors inside of themselves before you. I'm strong as fuck. You feel me? And I just can't be broken. I don't care what it is that I have to face. I am not going down. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going down because I have too much to live for, too much to stand for. And it's just, you feel me? Me being able to understand and realize that I have a right to be Deidre. I do not have to be what other people want me to be. I have a right to be Deidre, and I'm going to be Deidre no matter what. You feel me? If I don't got nothing, I at least got that. So I'm not laying down. I'm not going out without a fight. You feel me? And I think that despises people the most, because it'd be like, listen, we didn't threw everything we could at you, and your ass still won't lay down. Why? You feel me? We running out of things to do. And it's crazy, but it's also real at the same time, because you having that type of energy also gives people the power to do the same. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's really what it be about. You understanding how your energy, and how you may have had people around you that wanted you to do right, because they understood that the more you focus on who you are and know who you are, the easier it will be for people to transform out of that energy they've been married to for so long. You know what I'm saying? It's a detachment. Now, I can only speak from a woman's point of view, but I can only understand how, you know what I'm saying, as a man, to detach and know yourself away from a woman is hard. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men are really in dark energy, and they need that sacral energy to be able to, you know what I'm saying, make life as they see it be the way they want it to be, but without understanding you're taking from a woman. You're controlling a woman, and you're taking her energy, not letting her embody her own, and then taking it from her and creating the life you want to see for yourself while she do bad. That's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's all about leveling it out. You know what I'm saying? This energy has been around for decades, centuries, years. You feel me? And it has been controlling, you know what I'm saying, a lot of women and their outlook on life. And then they have children who also fall down the same pattern of not knowing who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because they're tied to this energy. I'm experiencing it right now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people before me, also as well as my child, like, is addicted to that masculine energy. They don't know how to be themselves. You know what I'm saying? They feel like that's them, is being attached to that. So it comes with being fast. You know what I'm saying? Talking back, doing what you think is best for you, but you still little. You don't know what's best for you. You need help still. You know what I'm saying? And you need experience of a woman who was tied to that energy and married to it for so long to divorce it, to actually show you the way. But again, when you're still in a marriage with that energy, because of being tied to the people around you that are still married to that energy, it's hard to break free. And every first child gets sucked back in, the more people that's married to that energy versus the one that's divorcing it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize, you know what I'm saying, that you are the one that has came here to break out of that energy, and they usually don't feel worthy enough or even understand the assignment, so they get sucked back in, and they stay attached to that energy until that energy, you feel me, kills them, and then keep surviving in the world. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely not. It ain't gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Listen, know and understand. I get it now why a lot of men don't support women in jail. Is because, and how come a lot of women support more men in jail, is because women are not supposed to be in jail. And if she is, it's because she's married to a man who probably, you feel me, think that's the life. So they get less support, I feel like, than a man who goes to jail, because a lot of women feel like it's okay for men to go to jail. No, it's not. It's not okay for a man to be locked up, and you don't got to stick around and support him. Like, if he's a man for real and he know he got kids and responsibilities, why are you even putting yourself in a situation to get locked up? That's stupid. You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of women who feel or have been convinced to believe that that's what's supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because of his mind. Now he thinks he's supposed to break the law and go against the grain. You know what I'm saying? No, there's a way you can go against the grain without breaking the law and going to jail. I'm living proof. You feel me? Because my life has been a battle. I use resources. I use my brain. I use my mind. You know what I'm saying? To defeat the battle. And sometimes I do things, you feel me, that go against the grain. But you got to think the bigger system at play is also making sure your back is up against the wall to see what you're going to do. And they're going against the grain. They're stripping resources from you on purpose to see what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? They got them. Nobody's broke. I promise you. They just want people to think that. Niggas got money. You feel me? They're investing into things that we don't care about or we don't take serious. New schools being built, the roads being repaved, buildings increasing, but they're not putting that money into the people. You know what I'm saying? Into creating resources. And some of them are so wicked behind the scenes that they're intentionally snatching resources from certain people that they know can see through the veil. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I use my mind. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to be locked up. I don't want to sell my mind to people who can control when I take a shower, when I eat. I don't give a damn. Ain't nobody finna have that power over me. You know what I'm saying? So I use my mind, and that's something that's a threat. When you can, you feel me, have the ability to see through people who try to use that for their own benefit. You know what I'm saying? Again, being married to that old energy. There are a lot of people that have been convinced to think that they need SSI or they're crazy or something is wrong with them because they have a very strong, powerful mind. You know what I'm saying? And they're very intelligent. You know what I'm saying? But again, you cripple that when you think and give your power away because you don't feel valid inside yourself. And this is just speaking from experience. You know what I'm saying? It was times where I didn't feel strong enough, and I felt, because of the energy that we've been tied to for so long, that the masculine male would be able to protect you. But the crazy part about it is he can't be a protector if he can't protect himself. If he doesn't know how to protect himself from the war, the psychological war, he's definitely not going to be able to protect you. He's going to send you down the same line. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to you to protect yourself and use your mind to know to be able to fight the war. And if you happen to, you know what I'm saying, get your power back from that, they hate that. They don't like that. You know what I'm saying? You'll have people all around you who's still trying to take it. You feel me? Because you don't have the right to be able to take back your power and use your own mind. And then what happens is a lot of males have been siphoning women's power, and that's how they've been able to control the world, because we've been bowing down to them. Niggas go to jail, we bow down. Niggas don't take care of their kids, we still let them back in. He don't want to work, we let him bring his PS5 over. Absolutely fucking not. You feel me? Absolutely fucking not. And then you feel me, they get free access to your sacral energy by being a bum. You know what I'm saying? And again, not all of them are like that. Some of them do handle their business, but psychologically, they're weak. You know what I'm saying? They just use physical. But this war is not physical, it's mental. So you can't help me if all you do is fight and go to jail. That's not going to win this war. You're going to lose. You know what I'm saying? Because we need people who's going to be smart. You feel me? So again, listen. Understand and know that now is the time we divorce. You feel me? Now, you may think that that means divorcing from relationships. No, I'm not against love. I'm not against relationships. I'm not against, you know what I'm saying, love, period. But it should be where people are reciprocated, where people have the right to be themselves and people love them for who they are. Not wanting to be with someone because you're realizing that you now have to figure out life for yourself and you don't know how. So you need to detach from someone that can help you figure it out. But you don't want to love them for them. You just want to take their power. When I see that, I feel some type of way. Period. You know what I'm saying? But when it's a man who allows a woman to be a woman, cool. When it's a woman who allows a man to be a man, cool. That don't mean get walked all over. You feel me? It's rules and levels to this. It's now time to use our brain and think smart. You know what I'm saying? Going to jail, that's out. Should nobody want to do something that make them go to jail? It's a way around it. They just have to use their mind. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I've divorced the old energy. I found my power. I got it back. And there are a lot of people surrounded around me that were still attached and married in commitments with that old energy. So they couldn't handle, you know what I'm saying, me being myself. They couldn't handle my opinion. They couldn't handle me telling them something different. Because, again, they're always used to controlling the situation. And, again, there are also women who possess this energy. You know what I'm saying? They used to running shit and controlling the show based off of fear and control. People just listen to them. You know what I'm saying? And when you are opinionated and you talk back and now you seeing life differently, sometimes they don't know how to handle that. But I promise you, oftentimes, just from experience, I've talked to people, gave them chances, and led them down and hoping they will see where I see this going. They don't experience what you said until you detach from them. And then that's when they have the chance to experience exactly what you said. And it's not a type of thing where it's who's right and who's wrong. It's in studying the actions of what I chose to do in my life and choosing a different route. And when I did, my life changed. You know what I'm saying? But when I didn't, because I was still attached and married to that energy, life kept going the same. So, you feel me? You got to know it's now a time where we divorce. You know what I'm saying? You want better for your life, you got to divorce. And when you divorce from that energy, you'll start to discover things about yourself that you never knew, because, again, that energy has such a hold on you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of women that I know growing up gave their self away too early to multiple people, you feel me? Or were even in predicaments where, you know what I'm saying, it was taken from them. And when that type of thing happens, it's usually like the soul contract is forced. You know what I'm saying? And it's not until you detach from it that you're able to finally see yourself. That takes divorcing the whole thing, though, and wanting better for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people are protectors in ways where they protect people from that life, as well as the person they may be with, you feel me, protects them from the same life as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'll never forget how you got on me. I didn't even know you was watching me the whole time. That shit turned me on. You know what I'm saying? To know, listen, because the same with them is that I've usually been the type of person, no matter what I did in my life, people just let me do it. They never said anything about it. They just allowed me to do it. So I'm going to keep doing it. You don't have enough authority or power to tell me what to do. So I'm going to keep doing it. And you know that. So you don't say nothing. And I keep doing what I'm doing. And you okay. You stick around. You feel me? But when somebody got a type of power over you where they can actually make you stop what you doing, hey, that shit's sexy to the motherfucker, boy, I tell you. You feel me? On sight. Hey, come here right now. And I get that's probably why a lot of people hate on relationships. You feel me? Straight up. So again, divorce the old energy. Drop it. Let it go. It's not conducive. It's not improving you. It's not helping you grow. It's keeping you stuck in cycles that you know you want better for. Now is the time. You know what I'm saying? And if I could tell anybody just from experience, I've completely broken the chains free from, you know what I'm saying, being tied to that energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I've broken all the chains of everything that was set in the path before me. You know what I'm saying? Of people who didn't break them. You feel me? And I'm freeing myself. And again, a lot of people don't like that. It comes with freeing yourself from the devil. You feel me? And again, now I'm in a predicament where the devil wants you as well as heaven wants you. What you want for your life. You know what I'm saying? You can either put yourself back in that cycle and operate in that way. You feel me? Because now they know the game plan. Now they just going to convince more people, you feel me, to think they're spiritual and holy and all this, and convince them to make up a new program for the dark side. You know what I'm saying? And then you have heaven, where you think for yourself, you operate for yourself, you feel me, and whoever love you, love you. So again, the choice is yours. You know what I'm saying? But understanding and knowing that when you divorce yourself from something that was put on you before you were born, you finally lead yourself into self-discovery. And when you do that, no matter what, you know how to protect yourself now, and you can live the life that you want to live. So listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.